like this before.
And frees himself. Fires a Bruno. Three and hits. Anthony Edwards dumps it off Diallo. Oh, McDaniels. Stayed. Got up into violence. Something with Anthony Towns. My goodness.
Y'all, this is a disgrace, bro.
Welcome to Wolves After Dark, everybody. And you'll never get what Ashwin told me before the show. He committed to a 2-hour live stream tonight.
Just for you.
Just for me. Welcome, everybody. Timberwolves lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not a fun game. Lose by a lot. I think they had like 18, 19, 23s or something like that. If you're new here, like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 900. Actually, I haven't checked today, so maybe we are above 900. I don't know. And shout out to you, those of you who liked the stream before.
You, the viewers.
Before we go live. It's always awesome to put on not my secondary monitor, our stream, and see that there's already likes that I haven't even done in with all my burner accounts. So I appreciate it. But anyways, Timberwolves lose. Ashwin. Thoughts, analysis.
Barbecue chicken, mama goes, there goes that man. That's my analysis. Hot takes and breaking news, all in a sentence and a half. I hope everyone had a happy holiday. I know I slept through all of it. I didn't do anything. I just slept, and that was great because the night before I didn't sleep because I was cooking for a bunch of people. That's more important to talk about than this game, which was an absolute disgrace. As Grady talked about, the Grinch swooped up and took our defense away. So, or no, that was Mike and Nori.
Oh, is that what Nori said? I missed his interview too. I saw the stupid halftime show and I left because I was like, this is awful.
It was very stupid. Yeah. Also, analysis. That was, how did he even do any of that in the halftime show? How did that table float?
Floating table. Lady just had to
Girl
watch him
cube.
Eat. Yeah. Oh man. Well, as Jim Pete said, it wasn't a mistake, it just happened. And that is how this game is. That's how I'm going to view this game. This isn't a mistake, it just happened. And there's some truth, this is he wasn't talking about the game, he was talking about a missed shot. But
wow.
You're going to lose games in the season. We weren't going to be the 2018, 19, whatever year it was, Warriors team that only loses 9 games. Like that was not going to be the Timberwolves this year. So it's going to happen. We were off a little bit at shooting, and when you're getting into a shootout with a team like this, they're just going to keep going, and it doesn't matter what your defense is because we played okay defense at times, but they were just stronger tonight. They were better tonight. They were more prepared. We had a lot of mistakes too. It was really, really bad passing tonight. Cat does not look like he should be back on the court. Ant had a semi-off night, even though he seemed kind of engaged tonight, which was kind of a difference for him. Like when he's engaged like this, usually we're seeing A1 performances, and today it was not A1. But yeah, just lots of individual problems here and there, We'll get into it in the tier list, but this wasn't a particularly fun game to watch.
As for actual analysis, early in the season, we probably sprung and out hot as hell, and we bought in, and there was no change in their core, and so we were just winning games based off of attrition and actually being cohesive from a continuation from last season to this season. And now there's a 30-game sample size. Now people have seen who can and cannot take shots, who we should actually double team and force our hand. And OKC, no slouch. Can't believe they're this good, but it's very obvious when you watch them that they are playing with no ego mentality. Whereas I think to a lot of degrees, the NBA has become that egocentric style, and that's going to be their butter, man. Anyone can pop off for them, and they can have 4 or 5 people in double figures, and Shea's going to get to the line 10, 12 times, and he can play his mid-range game without taking a 3, and everyone else is running around him. And I love that. And I will say they play small, and I'm worried. Not long term in a series against OKC yet, but I'm worried how we adjust because we are big. We have built big. We can't go small, and when we go small, we can't defend the paint, right? So this long term, I'm skeptical of like how we can adapt to a small ball lineup, but short term, I think this is just a blip. I'm not too worried about it. I hope this is just in and out of our heads. We're going to get screamed at, and we perform tomorrow to the best of our abilities because at stake right now is our back-to-back streak, right?
Yeah, which is the most important thing now. Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you think that the Thunder right now, if you had to answer the question, if we were to play the Thunder in the in a playoff series, which may not happen, we may both be home court advantage teams apparently, but at least in the first round. How do you view a series with the Thunder going at this? If you had to choose this exact moment, I know it's not an exact science, but like if you had to guess right now, which way are you leaning in a 7-game series?
I'm leaning. Obviously, this is a Timberwolves broadcast. I'm leaning Timberwolves for a variety of reasons. I think Cat isn't going to be like this. I think Ant is not going to be like this. And I think Gobert is going to actually dominate a series in a lot of ways on both ends. But what they can do, what OKC can do, is can spread us out and not really worry too much about Gobert's defensive impact. And I thought they were cutting well too tonight. And so I would say it's not a foregone conclusion who would win, but I would say I would take the Wolves despite an effort like this tonight. It's almost embarrassing to lose by 20 to any team, but like a team like this, they just had our number. They were shooting lights out. They're not going to shoot like this in every game, if not like in a series. And we would have, modifications to each game, right? We would change things up. And
well, yeah, I mean, they shot 46% from 3 today, 60% from the field. That's not normal. Teams don't do that. So like that doesn't like you're saying, that doesn't last over a span of 7 games. So
yeah. But we were so ridiculously porous on offense. Like they had wide open Dort 3 after wide open Kendrick Williams 3 after wide open Jalen Williams 3. I don't think there was any contests all that first half. Our adjustments were to have Rudy Gobert shoot a 3 to start the third quarter. Like,
did he really? I missed the very beginning of the third quarter. He shot a 3.
Yeah, and it was so dumb. It was absolutely so dumb. And I was like, I think there was a slacking in halftime, and it's like, you know what? It's Gobert. It's Gobert time.
Oh my gosh! I legit missed like the first 45 seconds.
It really ruined the mood for me because I thought, okay, here comes third quarter Wolves. They have a game plan. Ball goes out of bounds. Cat doesn't know what to do with the ball, so he throws it to Rudy Gobert at the fucking perimeter to take a 3-point shot. Like,
yeah, that does kind of change my thoughts. That's bad. I don't like that.
Yeah, but shout out to all of you sticking it through. Happy holidays. You guys had probably a killer day opening your presents, Ant jerseys, Cat socks, and Gobert,
Skims.
Gobert. Gobert family hour on Instagram.
Yeah, Gobert family hour and whatever it is. But yes. And yeah, any questions in the chat before we get into the tier list? Sorry guys, we've been catching up on our chat. We don't talk before the games, so we need to kind of get it out when we start streaming.
Yeah. But thanks all of you to joining. Evan Osowski said 2 takes from tonight's game. 1, Edwards doesn't seem like he's moving around the best, and 2, we lost to the 3 ball. We lost the 3 ball for sure. That is one of our knocks as a team. Can we compete when a team is running and a team is just shooting lights out from 3? Can we keep up with pace? Can we slow down the game enough? And I don't think we'd slow down the game enough. We only had like 19 threes at half, which is okay, respectable, but we didn't continue that trend in the second half whatsoever.
No. Yeah, there were things, before we get into the tier list, the last thing I'll say to kind of recap the game, to be honest, there were a lot of moments tonight that I know this was not a good game and we lost by 20 or whatever, but there were a lot of moments that were like semi-promising for me. Like there were many, we were down pretty much the whole game, if not the whole game. But like we had moments where we kind of kept it that same kind of games that we've been having this year where we're down in the first half, but we're always within like 5 to 10 points. So we're always within striking distance. All we need is a couple shots to go our way. Third quarter defense happens, and boom, we're in the lead. And third quarter, like you said, apparently Rudy shot a 3 right away, which I missed because I was taking my dog out. But yeah, it's if you have an unserious third quarter and you've been down the first half, like that puts you in a really bad situation. And then if you've allowed the team to get into these rhythms, that's what happens. But Mike had a lot of big threes tonight, and we just had moments where there was buckets being made that were kind of like, oh, this is just enough to keep us afloat. But then, third quarter kind of happened, and that's usually what we rely on to keep us to win the game. And it just was gone. So
Biga says that Jalen
good.
Williams would be the X factor. Where I would think Nas and Gobert would probably change the series in our way. I think Bigas is not wrong. I think
if he shoots like
Jalen
this,
has a green light to shoot whenever he wants to, and the ball is not in his hands unless it wants to be, right? So Shea determines that. Chet's available at any moment to drive and or shoot from the perimeter, but it's then when he's on the bench, it's Jalen Williams time, free reign. They have established an identity, a hierarchy that I feel like we are still kind of negotiating a bit. And when they do wholesale changes, like hockey line changes, do they skip a beat? Are they at least tonight they showed out that it didn't matter who was out there on the court. They were playing a very together style ball that I think in early onsets of the season we were doing that. And there was someone in Discord or someone in chat that said, I think it was Gerald, that said, the last few games, the defense has been pretty open and concerning. That hopefully we didn't peak early, but I hope that there's a lashing. I hope that there's something. No, I hope there's a verbal lashing, and so that so tomorrow we come back and we swing, because Luka is not letting it off the gas pedal either, because Dallas is coming tomorrow, and I'm scared shitless. If we lose that game, what's going to happen to our psyche?
Yeah. Cancel Ashman in the chat. But also at the same time, free Ashman. Tier list time. So for those of you that are new here, well, before we get into the rules of the tier list, which there are none basically, thank you guys for showing up. I know it's not, you guys are all sick freaks like us showing up after a game where we lose by 20, and you're like, you know what? The thing that I want more after a terrible, terrible loss is to talk about it for another hour and a half. Which Ashwin promised us a 2-hour show tonight, so we'll see. Yeah. No, but for real, question for anybody that's watching the VOD, leave a comment. Do you prefer long shows or short shows? This is going to be a short show, but do you prefer long or short shows in general? I have no idea what people like or dislike. But anyways, also, we're only, I think, 7 subscribers away from 900.
That's crazy.
Wow. Philly fans would clown us, but we can get there. Size matters. On to the tier list. So A1, unforgettably good game. Nobody's A1 tonight. Well, nobody's A1 tonight.
No one's A1 tonight. And by the way, Johnny Mason, hell of a conversation that's happening in chat. I want to get to some of them. We'll probably address some of those comments while we talk about players. What we did a few games ago is we started kind of running through the starters first before the bench, because the bench was kind of MVP that night. Tonight, that's not the case. I would love to go through the starters anyways, though, first, if you're down.
Yes, I was zoned out.
Same here. For most of the second half, I kind of, after that Rudy 3, I kind of just stopped caring. I actually was almost enraged, in full-on rage in the second quarter, with what I was seeing. And you know what? It happens. Shit happens. But you know what is happening for us on a nightly basis is Mike Conley. I think he has been an absolute godsend on the court in 25 minutes tonight, by the way. Just 25 for some reason. 6 for 10 from the floor, 5 for 7 from 3. He was 5 for 5 from 3. 4 assists, no turnovers, a couple steals, a couple baby steals. Like the guy's got the rebounds, he just snatched it. 17 points. I'm giving him an A, despite a 20-point loss. He was the best player on the court tonight.
100%. Totally agree. I mean, I don't really have anything else to add. The threes, I've already said this a million times on stream. I believe in every single Mike Conley three that he takes. Even when he goes 1 of 10, I still believe it's going to go in every single time. So nights like tonight feel very like, I don't know what the right word is, but like it feels like it's proving a point. But no, it feels good. Mike is the best player out there, and then those steals are crazy. Those steals are awesome. So yep.
Reading what Gerald just said, or maybe said a few minutes ago about Gobert, let's talk about Gobert for a minute. 28 minutes, almost 29 minutes, 10 points, 5 rebounds, counted 5 rebounds, no block shots, no anything. He did take a 3, and he did his free throws. I kind of want to give him a Wancho. I kind of want to give him a D'Lo Wancho. There's a little bit of a tit-tat fight feud thing that's happening with Finch, and I just don't understand. I don't understand. There's like an ego at stake here where Gobert is like, oh, I know how to play defense, and Finch is saying, I want you to do something slightly different. But I noticed it too, Gerald, and
where's this comment forever ago?
Yeah, I'm sorry. There was a stupid argument between Rudy and Finch about him not contesting mid ranges that took an early timeout in the third quarter. Shea hit a mid range and Rudy was not doing anything about it. Then Chet hit 2 threes, right after that. And I noticed that little like Finch Gobert thing. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But I thought this was one of Gobert's worst games of the season.
Yeah, I'm Team Rudy in that argument, by the way, between him and Finch, because I do believe, I think Rudy completely understands defense, but he has to do a better job because there's every game. I mean, not that you're going to have perfect plays every single play, but like he's having to like teach Cat or even Jaden at times of like where he wants people to be. Even Mike Conley, who he's played with forever, he's like pointing to Mike after plays like, you're supposed to be here. And like that play where he goes up and contests the mid range that you're talking about, and then like Cat's not there to like guard the rim. And there was moments like that. I see people saying Wancho for that flex. He seems to have something personal against Chet. I don't know what the deal is, but
yeah.
I mean, in general, this was not a good game from him, and it seems like this was one of those situations where we kind of harp on Cat, where it's like this is maybe too much trying to like prove a point to like Chet or whoever you're so mad at, where it's like actually kind of hurting the team. So I agree. I think Wancho seems kind of crazy to say, but I guess it is Wancho.
C-Tays, this actually really makes me feel better. Day after Christmas, not worried. We beat them at our place earlier this year. This one meant a lot for them. Just like take it back,
They seem to really care. They did.
Noah or someone else earlier mentioned that like we beat them 3 out of the last 4 times. So like they seem like they really came prepared, ready, and maybe they had a couple days rest to really plan for this, including yesterday, right? So I thought this was going to be a treat. I thought because some of the games yesterday were kind of absolute zeros for me, absolute duds, that this was going to be like the highlight that should have been on Christmas. But yeah, I mean, at least from our point of view, it wasn't that. They led pretty much coast to coast, except for a couple early switches in the lead in the first quarter. Cool. Jaden McDaniels, 27 minutes, 8 points, 5 fouls. I thought he played pretty solid defense, especially the stats that won't, rack up in the stat sheet. But and I thought he played kind of with the like a Vando mentality of like getting after loose balls and or fighting harder, like for recovery type of defensive outputs. I'm gonna give him a C.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good with that. I didn't know what to expect from you or from anybody going forward with or tonight on like what to expect for a Jaden grade, but he looks really good to me lately. I mean, not that his defense isn't good ever, but like he just feels better. He had that dunk. I don't know. It feels good. I guess he was 3 of 10, but like he felt like a positive out there to me, even though everybody was a negative.
No, I think we'll get to this comment when we talk about our bench. Oreo says, go, shout out, my friend. After a good game like the Heat game, I enjoy a long stream, but this is a short stream. It's welcome. Let's make it count. 5 more minutes. Let's go. Karl Anthony Towns barely played. 29 minutes, 5 for 10. Probably shouldn't have played. 16 points. Got out-dueled by Chet Holmgren. which was, in my opinion, very, very embarrassing. But whatever. He got called for a couple offensive fouls, including 5 turnovers, no threes, and only 6 rebounds from our man in the middle, the post with the most, the Kentucky Wildcat himself. I give him a Wancho.
It's got to be. He just didn't look ready to play. There was I need to. It was somewhere around the 8-minute mark or the 8 minutes left in the second quarter. I wanted to make a note of it so that I could go back and watch it. Watch Karl Anthony Towns literally get spun in like 3 circles for the entire play. And I don't mean like in one spot. Like he's just slowly wandering in like a large circle the entire play with no guarding nobody. It was terrible. And that was just one example, but like all night he just was flat-footed, not ready defensively. We said in the Discord, if he was going to play this bad, we needed 30 points from him. And we just didn't get that. So, and it does, I hate kind of making this guess, but it really does feel like he's playing to preserve that 50, 40, 90. And I feel like that might be causing some issues. I don't want to fully commit to saying that that's what's happening, but it certainly seems like it at times.
I think at times he's fighting his internal demons. I think, like you just said, he's trying to like get to the stat line, get to the stat sheet, get to those marks of things that haven't been done by bigs before. Meanwhile, Embiid is on an MVP tear. Meanwhile, Jokic is Jokic. Meanwhile, Porzingis is looking never better than himself, than he is looking like this season. The other bigs are kind of shining above at times. Cat has played some of his best basketball this season of his career. This ain't it. I think he fell into traps of yesteryear, of when he was self-indicted the man, like he thought he needed to do everything. He needs to do absolutely the simplest thing. And this is me just saying the same thing on repeat after every loss when I see Cat doing things that he does. He was dumpster, as Mason Schmidt said, and I just hope this is not a threat, like a trend. This is just a blip. This is just a little like correctional course back to, put your seat back on the driver's seat and figure out this trek ahead, because we are as bad as our worst player, and the worst players were our stars tonight.
Yeah. And I wanted to say one thing on Cat before we moved to Ant. You said something I can't remember exactly how you said it in the Discord, but the Towns turnovers tonight and like that pass that he did that was like trying to do like the under the basket pass that was just really bad. We talk about timely buckets all the time. Cat really does have these untimely turnovers where it's like it feels like you're maybe having a little bit of momentum, and then it's not just like that's like a little bump in the road. It's like the car is rolling and flipping. How bad of like a breakneck situation it was for like the turnover. Like it's so jarring and takes the team completely out. Nas also had a couple of those tonight, to be honest. But Cat, this is something that Cat has done forever. I will say in general, this season, I'm still not so far down at Cat. Cat has been a lot better this season, with a lot of like the mental mistakes that I typically am like really like full of rage on. But yeah, this was a bad game. This seemed like he came back. This is like what Gerald says all the time in chat. We don't want Ant coming back when he's hurt, because when Ant comes back hurt, he plays at like 50 to 70%, and then it's like a burden to the team. That's what Karl Anthony Towns was tonight, a burden to the team.
Shout out to Anthony Hollis in chat, the legend himself.
Anthony Hollis, the GOAT.
The GOAT, as well
Except
as Godfrey,
you're never getting any giveaway.
who's been with us since the start, my man.
Godfrey.
Love and praise to you, my friend. Cat needs to shoot more. 10 shots is not enough. 2 shots from 3, not enough.
Yeah, but he missed them both, so then he's going to miss out on his 40% from 3.
Well, yeah. This might be enough on Cat, because we're going to have potentially worse games from him moving on the season. The thing is, in March, April, and May, right? Can't happen. So it's good to get it out in November and December. But I hope it's gone. I hope this kind of habit-forming activity. He even did a Dirk fadeaway. He even did a kick out with his legs. Like he pushed with his arm, and he looks like he's clowning out there. He has got big feet, and he doesn't know how to use them still, year 8. So I I don't know, man. I'm snapping my fingers because I want to move on, but like, Cat
Yeah, you're
really,
talking
really,
fast.
Cat was just really hard to watch tonight. So
I wear size 20s. I can't make those up. I can't take those back. So I got big feet.
all time, like that was one time anti-Ashwin comments from Cat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anthony Edwards, 34 minutes, 7 for 16, 2 for 5 from the 3, 9 for 13 from the free throw line, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 4 turnovers. I don't know how to grade him. I'll leave it up to you, Chet. I'll leave it up to you, Cameron. But I'm thinking B or C.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. I kind of think I'm C. There's things I love about this game, like the 9 of 13 from the. I mean, okay, let me say this first. I don't love that free throws are going to be part. Like, I get that that's what superstars do. I just don't love watching free throws. Like, I want there to just be buckets. However, Ant always gets a bad call. Always gets a bad call. But I love the aggressiveness in the beginning. He was a big part in the beginning of the game of getting people in foul trouble, which didn't matter in the end. But like, he got SGA. Really, I think he got SGA like 3 times in the first quarter, but he only got called for like 1 or 2 of those fouls. But then his shot just wasn't there. I mean, he hit a couple of those threes in the beginning. I think, yeah, then he was cold for the rest of the game. I think I'm C. In the beginning, I was closer to a B for sure. But I think as the game went on and as he became more and more of like a non-factor on both ends, it was kind of like, I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. I guess, yeah, he had 25 points. It's all the rebounds, or the rebounds. It's all the free throws. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, that's a great game, but I think I'm going to go with a C. I think I'm a C.
I mean, in a weird way, we weren't in this game, but we weren't in this game without Ant. Like, no one else was taking an aggressive stance in this game. Slow-mo couldn't do anything. Cat was reluctantly off-putting, and Rudy Gobert didn't look like he wanted the ball. It seemed crazy. So Conley took it upon himself, and that's why Conley's shining right above with a big-ass gap in between the rest of our players.
Oh, yeah.
Because Conley was like, fuck this. I want to win this game. I'm not stressing about a 10-point deficit. Meanwhile, we're complaining to the refs, especially late game. Ant had like no business talking to the refs and was complaining for nonstop. Like, he deserves to be Juancho D'Lo tier, but he came at least with one hand on the rifle, like, which is a weird thing to say. I don't know why I said any of that, but 25, 7, and 6 is awesome for, as someone said, a 22-year-old. But at times he is finding his shot. He's hunting his shot. He's looking too aggressive for his own. And what I have been noticing is that he is very willing to pass the right play, but it's usually with the hand grenade.
Yeah.
Like low shot clock situations.
That's true. Luckily, Bite gets those up. Everybody's talking about the complaining in the chat. Yeah, the complaining is an issue too. Yeah. I mean, the whole team's kind of complaining. It's a tricky thing because I do think that and maybe this is just an insane bias that I cannot see through, but I really do feel like I've watched other basketball games this year. I'm not just watching Timberwolves games. I really do think the Timberwolves get a worse whistle. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, watch another game and just like look at the refereeing. It's just different. It's just, I don't know. And I'm not saying it's like night and day different, but it is different. It is different for sure. So I don't know. All goes downhill once. Yeah, that's true. That's that too. Because once we start doing that, everything goes to shit.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm gonna do. Whoa, that's a weird little camera there. I'm gonna do a quick lightning round before Ashwin gets back. Oh no, he's already back. Kyle, Juancho, Nah. I think Nah was a B. I liked Nah tonight. Didn't get Troy Brown. Honestly, Nas, D, maybe Juancho. I don't know. I'll put him in D, I guess.
Yeah, D'Lo to Juancho for sure, and it looks like the shape of an L on our forehead, right?
It does. That's a perfect one. I will add one quick note before we get out of the tier list. J-Mac, Baby Mac, seriously? A tonight. He was incredible, and I hate to ruin the L because it's so perfect. Baby Mac.
Keep the L intact, man.
Okay, we'll leave him out. but he was
fine.
great tonight. I
It's fine.
loved. Maybe this is how we do it. J-Mac was incredible. He was not A1 really, but he was. I loved him tonight. He was out rebounding all the 7-footers on the court. Like it was insane. But no, I loved
I'm
it.
confused. I saw the first minute and a half of McLaughlin was excellent, and then I didn't really understand the rest of it. 1 for 5 from the floor. He had 4 rebounds, which is amazing.
He took 5 shots. Oh my god!
And he had 3 steals, is also amazing. But it kind of stuff like that didn't matter in the long run. But in a game where like thinking back about like Baby Mac's like peak, that was like in the Memphis series because D'Lo was so garbage, right?
Mm.
He can provide something for us while we haven't established like that other player off the bench. We haven't figured it out. Like it's supposed to be Nas. It's supposed to be him, but it's not him regularly. So we need a more of a spark. Maybe that Baby Mac can unleash some of it or reignite up, hunger from the bench.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the timing of Finch putting him in tonight. I thought it was perfect because it felt like it was a moment where it was like either we're about to lose this game very badly or we're about to make a really big comeback, but something needs to change. So putting Baby Mac in was just like, okay, I like this timing because even if we lose, he's going to get some reps. He's going to get some real time, not just garbage time. So it was like, okay, I like this. But
I
that's
really
the
liked
tier list.
Finch's decision to put him in, right? Like, just
Yeah.
try something else. Like, I thought he was going to go to Shake or something, and he went to
I
Baby
know.
Mac, and I
Yeah.
was really happy with that. So, and I thought Jim Peterson was very like astute with his observation of like we need him. Like, regardless of what you
Mhm.
think, this season is going to be prolonged with all these back to backs that we're going to have, with the resounding strength of schedule that still exists against these 500 teams.
Yeah.
We need someone to just like offset the amount of output that Conley's putting. So, like, it's so nice to have
Mhm.
Baby Mac out there, but like when Baby Mac's producing, because like he can easily be exposed, right?
He can. That is true. That is true. Here, we'll watch this real quick. I don't know what this is. This is Timberwolves Brazil. I'm not just some random video. Yeah. Yeah, this is all Timberwolves fans tonight. That's kind of crazy how real it looks, laying down like that.
I don't want this to happen. I'm imagining things.
What the heck
Okay.
is this?
I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
Noah asks, would you try guys trade Leonard Miller plus our other,
Thank you.
we'll call them assets, for an offensive minded guard off the bench in order to win now this year? You said you would talk about it. Oh yeah, I did. Yes, I would. I think
We did.
I did as we were transitioning to the tier list, as I do say a little nonsense, and that was yeah, I think the recipe is this year. Like, if we don't make significant progress in the postseason this year, Cameron, like, something's going to dramatically change. Finch probably out.
I don't
If
know if
we
Finch
don't-
will be out, but Cat will be out. Somebody huge would be out.
Somebody huge, and it's always going to be the coach first. It's always going to be a coach first, or the
guess that could be.
scapegoated player, which this season hasn't really been Cat. It's been Slow Mo, but it's like Slow Mo is a really key part to our identity. So it's like, do we let go of the dude who was like our savior last year, plus the 20 games that he's not been very, he's not elevated our team to the degree that we want him to. Yet we are still tops of the West. Yet we are still top in the defense, except for this game might have skewed the numbers a bit. Do we make a trade with our others? Can we make a trade with the others? Could we make a splash with like a 4-for-2 trade? I don't know if I don't know if there's an answer. And also, I would do a Leonard Miller for anything. I would do Jalen Clark for anything. I would do these other players, Wendell Morris. But like, the type of player that we'll get in return, Noah, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't know if they're even going to crack the rotation. Like, we're going to get like a Troy Brown Jr. like player at best.
Yeah. Or like if we do a 4-for-2 or a 4-for-1 kind of a trade, they're gonna have to play. And what if they're not good enough to play? I mean, they should hypothetically, but no. To your point, Kyle Anderson has a trade-friendly contract. This is an expiring year for him. Troy Brown, Shake Milton, they both have player or team options next year. Wendell Moore, not an asset, but he has team options the next couple of years. Baby Mac expiring this year. Josh Minot on unguaranteed contract next year. We have tradable assets, but I just with those players, like who are you getting? I don't know.
This is welcome to the show, Sully Thovin. Holy crap! What a remarkable idea, like thought. Like OKC will probably make a trade. Other teams are going to probably make a trade.
Yeah, I've
And
said
they're
this.
going to
I
get
said this
better.
last time. Last time I said this, they have unlimited draft picks. They can acquire any player that they want.
Yeah.
They have unlimited draft picks on unlimited depth on their team of like actual talent and assets that people could use.
Quality contracts on literally every player. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we starting an OKC show?
They're special. They have I don't know if this is like their year, but they can kind of make their year happen any year they want to because of the situation that they're in. Just unlimited draft picks. Not that I think this is a winning move for them, but if they wanted to go out and get LeBron, it is possible. They could get LeBron.
Wow, that'd be.
They could get LeBron. They could get KD. They could do any of these
KD.
deals. Like, and of course, KD is unhappy again, so he's just gonna have to go back home to OKC. That'd be crazy, actually.
That'd be crazy.
But no, they have. I mean, they look at this. I'm looking at their contract situation right now. This is amazing for them. Yeah, they probably need to make a splash this year or next year. Bertans is their second most highest player.
I don't know if
He's
played
paid
more than 4 or 5 games this season.
17. If he would have played tonight, he would have hit 8 threes. I know it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yes, to button it all up, yeah, we would probably make a trade. I think both me and Ashwin are on the same exact page here. Like, if we can make a trade to get, I guess, I mean, it depends on the player, and I can't even speculate on the player because I don't even know. I'd have to look at everything. But,
Mason
yeah,
says get Sexton. Vegas says get Bojan Bogdanovic. Make this the Utah Jazz reunion tour.
See, I like that, but I mean, that would make sense because he's on Detroit right now, right?
Yeah, they look like they need something happening over there. I bet you OKC and Detroit make a small trade. But our assets, like as Noah was saying, like what are we looking at for trade assets? It's not like we're going to get much unless we trade a significant piece. Which are we willing to? It's so much about this team this year has been about the vibes of this culture that we've been forming / scheming, but not putting it on our jersey.
Last thing to note on Kyle Anderson too, like he's a big part of our identity on the court, but he's also a big identity off the court. He is a leader for this team, and he provides feedback to people. I mean, that's why they had the whole fight with him and Gobert last year. He keeps people accountable, and not having that there, I don't know if there's enough leadership from Ant and Rudy or enough trust from people to fully go there. I don't know. So.
Crazy,
I don't know.
Nonsense facts like Wiggins is now starting, or no longer starting. D'Lo is no longer starting. Keita Bates-Diop was starting, now no longer playing. Josh Okogie was starting, now no longer playing. These are significant Wolves players that are on other teams that were supposed to be role players that are like not doing their job. So they're just like not, so like we might be overvaluing some of our content, some of our, contracts, and we might be undervaluing some of our future assets, but what we did when we traded for Gobert is we established a price point for the market. We killed the market by doing that. And so, like, Kevin Durant couldn't get traded the way that he would want to have gotten traded. Now, who's going to be that person? Who's going to be that team or front office that says, this is the market price, and could we be aggressive? I think if we want to win, and if we want to make this more about this year than any other year, we would go all in. I don't know what that means. I don't think we're going to go big game hunting, but I don't know 100% what that means yet. And I hope that, we don't have to make that choice, but I would love over the course of the season to like understand who that would probably be. Someone said Karis LeVert. Someone said, Sexton, and looks like we need a guard. I don't know, Cameron, if there's any other thoughts here, but it looks like we're going to probably make a move.
Maybe. I don't know if I would say that we are going to make a move. I mean, it depends on how the rest of December and beginning of January go. But yeah, I mean, I think, if I'm getting into my Bill Simmons mode, looking at teams, it's like Detroit makes some sense. There's players on Detroit that would make sense to acquire for something. I don't know what, but like they have another Denver Nuggets reunion. Monte Morris is there. That's an option. He's made $9 million. He's making $10 million this year, and it's expiring this year. They have Joe Harris. They have Bojan Bogdanovic. They have players that would be interesting, but it's just like, because we still, again, and I don't want people to join the live now and be like, oh my gosh, they lost a game and they're talking about trading all these players. No, we're just evaluating options. We're getting further into the season. We're identifying areas of weaknesses, and the backup point guard is one of those. So backup point guard and somewhat 3-point shooting. So I think, these are just introductory conversations. I'm certainly not saying that we have to trade for somebody immediately, otherwise we're screwed. But if you have assets, if we call them assets, which we do also have second-round picks, a bunch of second-round picks that we got in the D'Lo trade. So those are also valuable to teams. But
15 points in the fourth quarter. 7 of them came from Leonard Miller and Leonard Miller time. That seemed like we just gave up. In the second half, it was really, really embarrassing. I would say this is not a trend. This is just a game that happened after Christmas. Trying to get all the pieces back. Cat is every part of our identity still, even though maybe our identity is like shifting off of him still. He's definitely, as you say, a part of it. And we need to integrate him into that second alpha. Like, we need him to shoot and feel aggressive and feel like he's being selfless by taking shots and not looking for the pass to Gobert all the time, not looking to drive and get offensive fouls all the time. He needs to be very aggressive and looking for his shot, because that's the best Cat, when he's very, very aggressive. I think his defensive stances have really taken strides this season, and that's been who we have been all season long. It's been about this defensive, tall tree lineup, and teams are now picking apart small parts of it from the mid-range, and it's actually pretty inefficient unless they're uncontested, right? So we got to make more of a concerted effort to go back on D in transition, as well as tighten up our screws on defensive switches. And what we just saw was maybe a sluggish post-Christmas game. I'm fine. We're top of the West. We have 7 losses.
Exactly.
Couldn't be happier about how the season's going. But this is not hopefully something that we see again for a little bit, because we're gonna take this personally, and we're gonna come back swinging against Dallas.
Yeah. And Anthony, question: would you trade Cat for bench depth? Be real. Think beyond tonight. No. I mean, he's needs to pull more than just bench depth. But even if we were going to entertain any kind of conversations about trading Cat right now, I don't think we're trading Cat until the end of the season. And like you said, if we're out first round of the playoffs, or if we're in the play-in again for some reason, then things need to change, whether that's Finch, Cat, somebody, Jaden. I don't know, but we're not there. We're not panicking. I honestly, Cat is kind of a part of our identity, but Noah, I mean, don't tempt me with these trade things.
Anyone named Cameron, man, he's all in on.
I'm all about Cameron Payne, Cameron Johnson. Let's get him.
Cameron.
No.
What was that other dude who was a Timberwolf wearing number 13?
Oh, you're right. There was a Cameron on the Timberwolves. I don't remember their name, though.
Cameron. It's okay.
Huh. Well, I think that might be it for us tonight.
Yeah.
A relatively short show. We didn't do the 20 minutes, but we did do 45. Cool. Cameron Poole. Was that their name? I don't know. Anyways. All right. Well, Timberwolves lose. What are we now? We're 22 and I don't know. I didn't look. Oh gosh, I can't. 22 and 7.
Cameron Reynolds.
That's right. Yes, totally. Cool. Upcoming schedule. That's what I'm getting a lot of sorts here.
That's him.
Oh, bonus deal from Arby's. There's $10 200 level tickets. That's actually kind of a good deal now. I was looking at tickets. I'm going to be going home to Minnesota in January, and I was like, oh gosh, these tickets are not the same. Anyways, we play the Mavs at home on Thursday, and then the Lakers at home on Saturday. Easy W's. Cool. And I think, I believe if I'm remembering correctly, it may be solo or maybe getting Coop on the show or something else. I could be wrong, but I believe one of these games coming up here, it might be. So,
I forgot my schedule.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm misremembering your schedule.
You're helping me out on Thursday. Can't wait to see
I
you
am,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Then I'll be
I hope you're loopy. I hope you're loopy.
Yeah, I'll be talking.
Are you really gonna be loopy? Oh man, maybe we got to get you on the show.
We have a game that night. That's right. But yeah, if you can get
We
Coop
do.
instead of me, that'd be great. What I need is more
We'll
time
see.
off.
Hey, we're both gonna be off a little bit, but anyways, we're kind of in the middle of the season. It's a weird time. Maybe some giveaways coming up soon. I don't know. We're getting into the non-Lakers tickets, so I can do giveaways again. But we will see. Can we introduce
occasionally? Well,
Cameron,
that's Cameron.
Philly fans suck.
And I'm Ashwin, and we're Wolves
Yes.
After Dark. And
Yes.
you're the reason why
Anthony Hollis. Yes.
And you're in goated Hall of Fame of Wolves After Dark fame. That was the funniest moment.
That really was.
I remember. I can
so
remember.
funny.
So thanks.
So yeah, maybe some giveaways coming up. So make sure you subscribe. You have to be subscribed for the giveaways. 52 wins is still possible. Maybe next time I'll do my math and I'll get back to everybody. If we go 500 for the rest of the year, what is our record? Or what can we afford to lose to still stay 500 is a better thing. Cool. That's a sad conversation. Yeah. We lost one game. We're fine. All right. 52 wins is still possible. Intro as the outro. I'm going to go play some Call of Duty for the next 8 hours.
Sensational.
That gave me like a heart attack when you did that. It was so loud. We'll see you Thursday night.